Hi, welcome back to my channel, and this is a sound off on the Braxtons. Now, I know I'm coming to y'all 3 episodes late, but we're here now, so let's get into things. So, before we really dive into the episodes, I really wanted to speak on this Trina, Gabe, and Ashley situation. I reported on it back when Ashley, came out with her TikTok saying what was going on. You remember, she didn't name any names. She just came to us and said, hey, one of my aunts doesn't speak to me, hasn't spoken to me in years because she thinks that I did something with her former partner when I was 16 years old, right? And we all put on our Blues Clues caps and we all decided it was Trina and Gabe. It just made sense. The timeline made sense. I can say after last season of the Braxtons, I got curious to know what was going on with Ashley, because I do remember seeing Ashley here and there on Braxton Family Values. I know she was Tony's assistant at one point. I used to see her take pictures with Tamar and Logan all the time. I used to see her post about her grandmother. I used to see Tawanda and her interact all the time. Tracy and her interact. I never really saw her and Trina interact. It didn't set off any alarms for me because I wasn't in them people's business like that. But, I observe, So after last season of the Braxton Family, the Braxtons aired, I did get a little curious and I went looking for Ashley. And I stumbled across that interview that she did where she was speaking about her sister's passing and drugs and all the things. Y'all seen that? I know y'all seen it by now. And I remember saying in my videos last season how their brother Mikey was the only unproblematic person in the family. I was like, he just seems like, no wonder he never wants to film with them because they do too much. And then I found out that he's probably the worst one of them all. So fast forward to Ashley coming to us through TikTok and telling us, what was going on with her aunt and her aunt's former partner. I felt like I kind of already knew what it was. Now, when this season of the Braxtons was dropping, I was like, ooh, child. I just don't know. I just don't know if I could do all of this. Look, a lot of us all have our own family drama and this stuff is triggering, But what I had hoped that would happen this season is I hoped that Trina would come and say to us, hey, my marriage with Gabe was a lot. I was in a financial situation. I was in survival mode. All I was thinking about were my 2 underage children and how it was going to affect our lives. I didn't leave that man because I literally was in survival mode. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to hear her say that she regretted how things went down, that she was sorry, that she knew, you know what I mean? Like, I wanted to hear her as a woman just own it and say, I'm sorry I wasn't there for my niece. I just was really going through it. Because if you guys remember the earlier seasons of the Braxtons, she said that a little bit, that she was going through some financial trouble. She was, it was very clear that one of the main reasons that she stayed with Gabe through all the cheating and all the foolishness was because of he had the finances. He took care of everything. He carried everything. I don't know if y'all remember when he was trying to downsize at one point, and everybody was like, oh, he owes you all of this. He needs to keep you in this big old house. He needs to keep you, taken care of. So I was really hoping that Trina was going to come down, to the TV screens and just say, I'm sorry. I was wrong. I wasn't in a good headspace. I was going through it because cheating is abuse. If he was abusing you financially and abusing you, by cheating on you, whatever else was going on, you were in a dark place and you made the wrong move. That's what I wanted to hear from Trina Braxton. I have always said Trina is my favorite Braxton out of all of them. Y'all know I love Tamar and we all love Tony and we all love Tracy. But Trina was my favorite because I thought she was just so funny and so quirky and so comfortable in her own skin. And they all make fun of her for her vocabulary and her Canadian accent, but she didn't care. And I feel like, I saw myself in her a little bit, So I've always enjoyed Trina. But the way that she has handled this situation with her niece, it really disgusts me. It really does. Hearing Trina say that she wished this had not have happened because Gabe is not here to tell his side infuriated me. Like, I don't even know if I've watched that whole thing in its entirety because it really makes me annoyed. It really makes me angry. It makes me very, 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 very angry. I'm so disappointed in Trina. Like, I have no words. Like, I'm really ready to just be done with the show. Like, what do you mean he's not here to tell his side? He don't have a side. He don't have a side, Trina. What are you talking about? Trina, are you trying to say to us that Ashley was flirting with your ex-husband? Are you trying to say that Ashley seduced your ex-husband? Are you trying to say that Ashley was being inappropriate first with your ex-husband? Because what side? I mean, look, let's just say all those things happened. Let's just say that Ashley was 16 years old. She came to visit you in Atlanta. She wearing these... If y'all seen Ashley, Ashley is beautiful. She is like a very, very, very pretty version of Tawanda. And I'm not trying to be shady, but she's like an extremely pretty version of Tawanda. Like, her body is T. Okay, I don't know what she looked like at 16, but I'm pretty sure she looked like a young Trina, a young Tawanda, maybe a little bit of Tony. Like, I'm sure she was gorgeous, okay? But she was 16. She was a baby. She was a young girl, you know? And I don't care what she looked like. I don't care how she flirted with you. I don't care if she gave you the eyes. I don't care if she dropped her towel in the hallway while you were walking by. I don't care what she did. Gabe being a full-grown man, her uncle, that should not have moved him. That should not have done anything to him. We're finding out a lot of things about the Braxton family that I'm sure Gabe already knew. I'm sure Trina and Gabe were fully aware of. We learned that Ashley was abandoned by her mother, I think at the age of 5, at a very young age. She was abandoned by her birth mother. Her father remarried, and they both abused Ashley. She said she was SA'd. She never said who, but she said she was assaulted as a child, which made her assault her younger sister. She said she was abused by her stepmother. Her stepmother was a white woman, and she has these 2 fully black stepdaughters that she called the N-word, that she beat, that she traumatized. So I'm saying by the time Ashley was 16, she endured a lot of trauma. She endured a lot of abuse. She endured a lot of neglect. She was treated really badly. She went through a lot. So is it far-fetched that maybe at 16 years old, Ashley had inappropriate, interests in older men? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. With all of that in her background, it's possible that she liked older guys. It's possible that she could have flirted with Gabe. It's possible that she did that. I'm not accusing her of doing so, but it's possible that she could have done that. But my thing is, Trina, you brought your 16-year-old niece into your home. You were responsible for her safety. You were responsible for her well-being. If you know you have a husband that don't got no good sense, maybe you shouldn't have brought your niece into your home. Or maybe you should have had a talk with him and say, hey, my nieces are coming over here. I expect you to be on your best behavior. Like, I don't know. I just feel like I wouldn't even want to put nobody's child in no mess like that if I know my husband ain't no good. But, everybody likes to take chances. Those are chances I just personally wouldn't take. But maybe you didn't know your husband was like that at the time. I don't know. I say all of that to say that even if Ashley came over there with the worst of intentions. She was hot in the pants. She was feeling grown. She has been disturbed as a child, and she comes over there with the worst of intentions. Gabe should not have ever been moved by any of it. Gabe should have just kept it moving. I don't care what she did. Gabe should have gone to Trina and said, hey, this happened. Just want to let you know. Gabe should have shut it down. Because I can speak. I used to be 16. Okay, I'm not that much older than Ashley. I used to be 16 years old. I remember what it was like. I had grown men trying to talk to me all the time. And the moment they realized how young I was, they were like, oh no, I don't want to go to jail. Please get away from me. Now, I had some that didn't care about my age. That's a different story for a different time. But I remember what it was like being 16 and liking, I remember we had a teacher, I think in middle school, Mr. Mitchell. He was very, very handsome. He was so mean to us, we forgot how fine he was. He knew all the girls, whether you had his class or not, the girls would come by his class. He was so mean to us that our little crushes were crushed, okay? We got over our crushes for him so easily because it's not appropriate for a grown person to be infatuated or flattered by some child's like for them. Like, that's just not normal. It's not normal at all. I'm so sorry. Like, when Trina says he's not here to tell his side, I don't want to hear his side. He don't got a side. He does not have a side. I had a lot of friends growing up that dated grown men. Grown men. I had a friend that was, well, we're not going to put her business in the street. But I had several friends in middle school that were dating grown men in their mid to late 20s. We 12. And our homegirl got a boyfriend that's 27. I saw this all the time. It's gross. It's gross. So when she says his side, I really don't think he have a side. I don't think he has a side. Because what is he going to say? Oh, she was flirting with me? Or she, did something to me? As a grown man, you should have shut it down. I have young boys trying to holler at me all the time. And I'll be like, little boy, I'm not that much younger than your mom. Please get away from me. Please get away from me, sir. Please get away from me. Like, you shut it down. You shut it down. I will never forget. I think this was like right after my mom died. I was real skinny. I was looking young as hell. I was looking very young, very young. And I was in the parking lot of Kroger. I had just left work. And this is probably like not even a good month after my mom passed. And I know I looked like a child. I looked so young. And this boy came up to me. I didn't even need to know his age. I just knew by looking at him and the way that he spoke. I was like, this is a baby. And he was trying to holler at me. And I was like, sir, no. You shut things like that down. Like, you don't have to be disrespectful about it. You don't have to be mean about it. But you shut it down. You're not supposed to feel flattered by that. That's a kid. You an adult. Like, you should know better. You should know better. So I'm so disappointed in Trina because maybe I could have understood, okay, Trina, you were a lot younger back then. Like I said, you had two young boys who their biological father wasn't doing a damn thing for them. This man is raising your children. He's taking care of you. He has financed your whole life. And you were in a tough spot and you didn't handle things the best way you could have back then. But now at 50, at the ripe age of 50, you gonna stand in front of us and say he's not here to tell his side? When I tell y'all, like, I cried for real tears about this. Like, that shit hurt my feelings. When Ashley first said that she was going to come to America for the first time in how many years? I think the last time that Ashley came to America is when her sister passed away. She didn't even come for Tracy's funeral. But she came when her sister passed. And I'll never forget, like, I felt so bad for her. That's why I was curious to see how she was doing, because I knew she was living in Europe and she was alone out there. And I was just like, I don't know how she stayed away so far away from her family, not knowing all what was going on. And so when Ashley first announced that she was coming to America and she was so happy that she was going to be able to see Tamar. She was like, I'm so happy I'm going to be able to see my aunt and just hug her and just be around family. I've been missing this. that touched me in my heart. Like, that really touched me in my softest spot, because it was just like, damn, I know what that feels like. Like, I know how that feels. Some days, like, I miss my mom so bad, and I'm blessed that I have an aunt that stays 10 minutes away, and I go to her house and I sit there with her until she falls asleep. She be tired of me. I know she be ready for me to go home, and I'll just sit there because I know what it's like to yearn for your mom and for your family. And that girl don't have a mom. That girl does not have a mother. The one person who knows how she felt died. The aunt who stepped in as a mother has died as well. And for Trina, for that girl to say, you don't talk to her because of your ex-husband who's not even here anymore. And then you see those videos. I know you seen them. And you didn't feel nothing. I don't even know you people, and I cried for that girl. You don't feel nothing. You bring your 50-plus-year-old self on TV or on social media and say, well, this wasn't the forum for that. She didn't think about what the repercussions would be. You get on TV, you have time to think and process. You have a full year to think and process. And you say she didn't think about the repercussions for you? Well, if she needed something more from me, then she should have picked up the phone and told me. That shit, ooh, Trina, I'm so very disappointed in you, girl. Like, I'm disgusted. That girl just said, I'm so happy I get to come home and hug my aunt. Just to hug my aunt and have somebody close to me. And that didn't make you feel nothing, but you talking about you want to be somebody's grandmother? Girl, like, it hurts me to go off on Trina like this, because I said Trina was my fave. Like, over the years, I have really enjoyed Trina. But man, oh man, this makes me look at her completely different. Completely different. Like, you couldn't just stop and say, you know what? I'm so sorry that you've been carrying this for so long. I'm so sorry. I don't know. I think I just look at family and I just look at life completely different. I don't have my mom anymore. And so my aunts are a lifeline to me. My aunts mean everything to me. Sometimes I don't call them and they get mad at me. And it's just like, oh my God. Like, I feel uneasy when I'm not good with them. Like, I'm never not good with them. But when I don't, like, talk to them for a while, I don't feel good. So I just can't even imagine, like, I cannot imagine one of them having this kind of attitude towards me. My heart would be crushed. Like, I depend on my aunts and uncles for everything. So when she was like, well, if there was something she needed, she should have called me. She didn't think of the repercussions. Girl, what? We cried for you, Trina. Like, when she was saying how hard it was for her when Tracy died and when Gabe died. And it's just like, man, bringing back this show, I don't know if that was a good decision. I really don't know. Because the way that Braxton Family Values left off really wasn't a good look, okay? And I felt like they brought the show back to try to clean it up. I mean, obviously to make money. People need money, okay? We ain't in the times of, like, trying to flex on nobody. Everybody needs a check these days, okay? Even the rich, they need a check, okay? So I'm not mad at y'all for wanting to bring the show back. But man, oh man, it's like, y'all really have y'all made yourselves look real bad. Like, really, really, really bad. I think for me, I said this last year, for many years, okay, they have been able to hide behind Tamar's flaws. I would never sit here and act like Tamar don't got something wrong with her. I love Tamar down, but Tamar does things sometimes that just really make me shake my head in shame. Sometimes Tamar does entirely too much, and it annoys me. Okay, she's done a lot of things that I do not like and I do not agree with. But at the same time, the way her sisters kind of hide behind her flaws to make themselves look like they're pure and they're good and they're golden and they've done nothing wrong, it's a crime. It really is wrong. It's really wrong. They've done a lot of shitty things over the years, and they just make it seem like it's always Tamar. It's always Tamar. It's not always Tamar. And I know what it's like to be in, with certain family members where they gaslight you. They make you look like you're the bad person. You're never right. They never validate your feelings. They never acknowledge anything about how you feel. They move the goalposts. I know how that feels. And sometimes it makes you go nuts. It makes you go nuts. Sometimes there's no other option but to just not have a relationship with certain people. That's the only cure for some of this. I know personally. I know firsthand. So when Tamar acts a fool on a lot of, I would say, unnecessary situations, it is because I don't want to call the girl crazy, okay? But when you're stifled in one area and you're allowed to speak out in others, you're going to overspeak in those. When you feel like you're allowed to speak, you're going to do too much. And that's Tamar. That's Tamar right there. I don't know what this family secret is. I feel like at this point we all can kind of guess what the real secret is. There clearly is something that all of the girls experienced and saw and witnessed, or whatever the case may be. And because of their mother, they are not allowed to speak on it. I remember last season when Trina spoke with the therapist one-on-one. And she was like, she keeps having these dreams and these visions of when she was a child, when her and Tracy were growing up. And it's almost like Tracy is like pointing out to her certain thing, like she's having these flashbacks. And when the therapist wanted her to speak on it, she said no, like it was absolutely not. At this point, I don't even want to say what it is. I feel like we're all probably thinking the same thing. I don't want to slander anyone, so I'm not going to say what I'm thinking, but I'm sure you're probably thinking what I'm thinking. I feel as though whatever it is, their mother has told them, you will not speak about this. You won't speak about it. And I feel like Tony's able to just move past it because Tony has this full life. She's a superstar. She got other things to worry about. The brother, out of sight, out of mind. We don't know nothing about him. Well, we know a little bit about him. Tracy is gone. Tawanda, she is in charge of everybody. Trina eats and drinks her feelings. And Tamar goes off. She just loses it on everybody about everything. Whatever it is tearing them up. Well, I feel like Tawanda is not tearing Tawanda up. Tawanda is stoic. And maybe she just channels her anger and her feelings onto Tamar. Maybe that's what we're watching. I don't know. But whatever it is, it's like, I'm sorry, I'm blaming the mom. When I used to see people blame Miss Evelyn on social media, I used to get annoyed. I think I even spoke about it on one of my videos from last season. Like, why are y'all so mean to Miss Evelyn? She just wants her daughters to be close. She wants them to lean on each other. She wants them to have a strong bond. And I guess y'all was seeing what I wasn't ready to see. Miss Evelyn, can we talk about her real quick? I don't want to get too deep into her because there's so much to talk about. But I really feel like for years, I was blind to what Miss Evelyn was doing. Miss Evelyn has a hatred in her towards their father, and it has really hurt her girls. I saw someone make a video about this on TikTok. This was months ago, where they were comparing Miss Evelyn to Miss Tina, Beyonce's mom. And they were saying how Miss Tina has forgiven Matthew knows, and it shows, whereas Miss Evelyn has not forgiven her ex-husband, and it shows in her daughters. And when I say she broke it down, and I was like, I never thought about that, but she really was onto something. Like, Miss Evelyn, you and that man divorced over 30 years ago. I'm thinking it was at least, if it wasn't 30, it's close to. It's close to 30 years. And anytime she sees that man, she has such a reaction. And it's like, I get it. It's disappointing for you to marry someone, give them your life and work for them and have 6 children with them back to back. For 10 years, you was just popping out babies. And you thought you were secured in your marriage. And maybe you weren't always happy, but you grin and bared it. And you thought he was doing the same because that's what you guys were probably taught. You know, you get married, you stay married, you keep your family together. You stuck to your vows, and he did not stick to his. And that's a betrayal that hurts. I get it. I get it. But not only does it hurt and is it a betrayal, it's like you thought you knew what your life was going to be. You felt secured. You thought you knew what your life was going to be. And he took that away from you and he gave it to someone else. He gave that comfort and he gave that stability to someone else. And you are angry about it. But ma'am, it's been a long time. I think you've been divorced from him almost as long as you were married to him. And it's hurting you. It's not hurting him because he's living his life. That man does not care. He is living his life. His wife is living his life. Well, living her life. What am I saying? But everybody's living their life. And you still, when you see this man or his name comes up, you get angry. You haven't been able to move on. When you guys got divorced, you were still a young woman. You could have found you another husband and lived a whole new life. But you're still stuck. Now, we've seen a couple times Tony say how the dad left her with nothing. Those are reasons to be upset. But you're going to stay mad forever while this man is enjoying his life with somebody else? He's moved on. You need to move on for you, not for him. It's not about him, but for you, for yourself. You see how Miss Tina looks so good now? Miss Tina didn't even look this good 20 years ago. And this is no shade. Miss Tina ain't never looked bad. But Miss Tina looks even better now than she did when she was 20 years younger. Because she let go of the anger. She let go of the disappointment and the betrayal. She let it go. Got another husband. He acted a fool. She let him go too. And let me also say this. You know, when a man leaves a wife and he's like, oh, I wasn't happy, so I cheated. She didn't make me feel happy. I feel as though your man should make you feel happy. Just like you're supposed to make him happy, he's supposed to make you happy. If you ever look at your partner and you're like, damn, you're not making me happy, you need to ask yourself, am I making this person happy? Like, I think it should be a two-way street, you know? So I definitely think he was wrong. But I also feel like, Miss Evelyn, you don't always seem like a pleasant person to be around. Like, I don't know. I feel like Miss Evelyn very much gives, I like the look. She cares about aesthetics. As long as everybody looks a certain way to the public, that's all she care about. Because you're not going to tell me that you guys came on the show and all y'all problems started when the show happened. We already know that's not true. Because Tracy has been telling us how she felt since the beginning of Braxton Family Values. It really gives that Miss Evelyn cares about appearances. She cares about how things look. Like, you was in that home miserable and you would have stayed in that home miserable until the day that the Lord called you home. You would have been fine with that. And he was not fine with that. So that's why he sought out happiness somewhere else. And it sucks because he should have been man enough to say, look, I'm not happy. Let's work on our relationship. Before cheating on you, he should try to fix things. And maybe he did. Maybe he did and you didn't realize it. I don't know. I mean, we can't fix that. That ship has sailed. But when I say this family drama is like, I don't know. It just feels so toxic to even consume. And I used to be a little delusional, like, okay, this can be fixed. It doesn't really seem that deep. But after these these 3 episodes, because it's only been 3 episodes, I'm starting to realize maybe it can't. Maybe it cannot be fixed. They keep teasing us this dinner scene about what's to come. They keep breadcrumbing us with this dinner scene, and it's diabolical. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't have biological sisters, okay? When I say my sisters, I'm talking about one of my cousins or my besties. I don't know. I might have a biological sister out there somewhere. The jury's still out on that. I don't know. I had a friend tell me to stop looking for her. Like, maybe she's not gonna like you. Just leave her where she at and you stay where you at. I don't know. I've always wanted to have sisters. That's one of the reasons why I watched the Braxton Family Values. I've always been infatuated with big families. 5 sisters. In my mind, growing up, I thought that was a dream. I have cousins, right? And like, anytime I would go to my cousins during the summer and, they got all these sisters, I used to be so jealous. Like, I wish I had 5 sisters to go home with. You know what I mean? Like, but not if we gonna fight like this. Like, I'll keep the brothers. I think I do better with my brothers. Well, we're not going to go there. But yeah, because this is a lot. So I've been talking a lot. So let's get into the first episode. My takeaway from that is I do think that Tamar is severely triggered. She's severely traumatized. She's been through a lot. It's so easy to write off Tamar as just being crazy or just being annoying or just being too much and just not like her. But Tamar is really struggling with something that she can't fix because she can't speak on. And maybe she speaks on it in therapy, but she just wants a release. She wants to be validated. She wants her feelings to be validated. And Trina and Tawanda aren't going to do that. And I'm sad for Tamar. I'm so sad for Tamar. And I know right now she misses Tracy more than ever. I know she misses Tracy more than ever. Because let's go back to last season. They made a whole season out of villainizing Tracy's husband, Kevin Sr. And I don't never like to take the man's side because I know men do women so bad in this world. Okay. In life, men do women so horribly, right? But one of the reasons why I'm always going to go up for Tracy and her husband is because I feel like her husband gave her a peace that her family never gave her. He gave her a comfort that her family never gave her. He was there for her. Y'all might want to talk about him cheating. One thing about my girl Tracy, she's told us she got her lick back every time. And I don't promote that. I don't promote getting your lick back and staying in a relationship where a man is abusing you by cheating on you. I don't promote that. But my thing is, if you don't even feel at home with your family don't look out for you and love on you like they're supposed to, you're going to end up with a man who does you wrong. And so for you to feel more comfortable and more at ease with that man who's doing you wrong says something about your family. So when I go up for him, it's like the family pushed her into the arms of this man. So y'all can't really say nothing about him, in my opinion. Y'all can't say too much about him because he did better by her than y'all ever did. So that's just how I felt about that. I want to say when it came to Tracy and Tamar, I felt as though they were always fighting not to be in the last place. Tony is the superstar sister. The brother is the only boy. So Tony and him are untouchable. Can't nobody do nothing with either one of them. Tawanda, for some reason, is in charge of the whole family. It's almost like everybody in that family is scared of them. Even Tracy. Seems like everyone is scared of Tawanda. I don't know what the hell Tawanda got over all of them. What she got over them, but she has something over them because they all scared of her. She runs everybody in that family. And we've seen it when we were watching Braxton Family Values. Remember when she lied and said that Tracy's husband had an outside baby, but really a blogger or somebody saw him at Starbucks with his grandson and they said it was an outside baby that he had on Tracy. That was a lie. When Tawanda brought that to the show, she didn't give her sister a heads up and say, hey, sis, this is what I've heard. This is what's out there. The blogs are about to run this story. She didn't do that. She went about it so nasty. You embarrassed Tracy. And it was left on a cliffhanger. Because you know how WeTV breaks up the season. It was left on a cliffhanger. So it was months that went by before we finally found out that that was not the situation. The damage was done. Tamar made rude remarks about him and Tawanda did as well. Tamar had to apologize for what she said to Tracy. She had to apologize for her nephew and to her brother-in-law. Tawanda didn't have to make any apology. Tawanda told Tracy straight to her face, I ain't apologizing for nothing. It is what it is. Get over it. Well, Tawanda, you hurt your nephew. You hurt my son. Oh, he's a big boy. He'll get over it. I'll never forget Tawanda saying that to Tracy. So when Tracy passed away and Tawanda turns around and is like, oh my God, my nephew Scratchy. I got to take care of Scratchy. You know, I'm his godmother, which Tracy's husband said that's a damn lie. That's a bald-headed lie. She is not a godmother to my son. He said, I made sure of that. She's definitely not the godmother to my son. He clocked her lies. He did really well clocking her lies last season, but that's a whole nother thing. When Tawanda started acting like she had all this love and affection for Tracy's son, I knew then that Tawanda wasn't, she ain't no kind of good. Tracy told us how she felt about Tawanda, her last couple of scenes on Braxton Family Value. We already knew what was up. And all they did last season was try to rewrite the story. Tracy and Tamar were always fighting each other because neither one of them wanted to be in last place. Tracy was in last place. But because of the show and because of how things went down, it kind of like leveled the playing field. So Tracy and Tamar were both, sometimes Tracy was in last place, sometimes Tamar was. And I really don't know what that's about. Like I said, I don't know what happened. Maybe something really bad happened to Tawanda and the family will never go against her because of what she endured. I don't know. But it's just very dark. All of it is so dark. But back to this season. I think that Tamar definitely has some issues wrong with her. She has some things going on in her head. And I think that sometimes when you're struggling, it's easier to help someone. Helping someone else helps you. It makes you feel better about your situation. It makes you feel better about what you're going through. So I feel as though I think Tamar is sincere in what she wants to help Ashley. But the crazy thing is Ashley probably could help her more than she could help Ashley. Because Ashley seems like she got things, she been working on herself for a long time. And the thing with Ashley is not, Tamar is very stunted because she's the baby of the family. She's almost 50, but she's the baby of the family. And so she always got to worry about how her mom is going to react. She's always worried about what her mom is going to say. I think that Ashley doesn't have that she doesn't have that hindrance. She's saying what she feels and she don't care what anyone says or has to feel about it. She doesn't give a damn. So because of that, I think that Ashley she's further along in her healing journey than Tamar. Tamar, I hate to say it, but until she can really face what's going on, until she can really tell her mom, like, hey mom, this is how I feel, she's never going to get over certain hurdles, I definitely feel like her wanting to help Ashley was sincere. We have now found out that Tamar had no knowledge of what happened with Gabe and Ashley. And I believe Tamar. Because last season, Tamar said the family always has secrets. They always hiding stuff from her. She has said this several times, that they're always hiding things from her. When whatever was going on with Tracy's son last season and his wife, she was left out the loop. When Tracy got sick, she was left out the loop. Now, I think Tracy probably was trying to spare Tamar because we know that Tamar had that, attempt. So maybe she didn't want Tamar to know. She probably thought Tamar couldn't handle it. And her being sick, she don't need extra stress or worrying about what Tamar might do. So I definitely feel as though, I think that Tamar probably was out the loop. And that's why she didn't care and said, I'm bringing Ashley over here and we're going to talk about this and I'm going to help Ashley because y'all kept this away from me for how many years and I never knew. Y'all had that creep around me. Y'all had me going to their house. Like, Gabe was allowed to be everywhere. Ashley runs off to Europe by her lonely. And Gabe was going to shows with Trina. He was backstage while the girls are getting dressed up. He's enjoying the life. And Ashley had to go away from her family. You got to enjoy the family. That pisses me off. As the girl was getting older, she probably started to feel uncomfortable. Her aunt doesn't even speak to her. This makes the entire family look bad. I could believe they didn't tell Tamar, but I feel like everybody else had to know. I feel as though everyone else had to know. If Tony did not know, I think Tony would have been pissed. Tracy has told us she was very close to her brother. So Tracy had to have known. She's close to her nieces. That's one of the reasons she said she didn't want to leave Maryland. It's because she has her nieces to look after. Her nieces and nephews are important to her. She didn't want to leave them along with her son. And she didn't want to leave Maryland. I find it really hard to believe that Tracy didn't know. That Tony didn't know. We know Tawanda knows everybody's business. So, I mean, it makes the whole family look bad. And I'm not mad at Tamar for having Ashley on the podcast because why not? Y'all left me out the loop because y'all didn't want Tamar to tell it. Well, it's out there now. And you know what? When this story first broke, everybody was speculating. I'm going to say a good 80% believed it was Gabe and Trina off the bat. Like, we kind of knew. If you've been paying attention, it was easy to put that puzzle together, right? But there were people speculating it was Tamar. Oh, it got to be Tamar. Look at how Tamar acts. We know it was Tamar. Tamar's got an attitude. Tamar always doing stuff. It was Tamar. We know it was Tamar. Look how she's so jealous of, so-and-so and da-da-da-da-da. A lot of people thought it was Tamar. Not because they followed the breadcrumbs. Not because they followed the clues. They automatically wanted to believe it was Tamar. So if I'm Tamar and I didn't even know about it, and people are blaming me, you damn right I'm going to have my niece on and apologize to my niece that I wasn't there for her because I did not know. You damn right I'm going to tell my niece. Come on over here and come get come get your healing from me. Come get an apology from me. Come get a hug from me. You damn right I'm going to be there for my niece. You damn right. I know a lot of people, because they don't like Tamar, want to think that Tamar was antagonizing the family by having Ashley come over. But like I told y'all, when Ashley said, I'm so excited that I get to see my aunt and just hug her and just be with family, that made me cry. Like, I was in my feelings. I was in my emotions. I don't care what Tamar did. I think that she did the right thing to be there for her niece, because Trina has the whole family on her side. This girl don't have her dad. She don't have her mom, her stepmom. The aunt that was the closest to her has passed. Her sister has passed. I don't think she's in communication with one of her brothers, because I saw something on YouTube. Child, I don't even have time to get into all of that. But I don't think she has a good relationship with she doesn't really have family like that. So for Tamar to say, girl, you have family in me, come get some love. I'm a love on you. You're my niece. I'm not mad at Tamar. I could never be mad at Tamar for that. She got all her antics, but I feel like at the end of the day, Tamar really loves people. She loves hard. She's a whole lot to deal with, but Tamar really loves her family. She really does. And it's really upsetting how sometimes they treat her. It really is. And really, especially when y'all probably the reason why she act the way that she does. But yeah, I think I'm going to end this video right here. I'm going to give y'all a part 2. We'll see. It might even be a part 3. But I got to get some things off my chest when it comes to the Braxtons. But yeah, please like, comment, and subscribe. And thanks for listening.